Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. I'm Cali Guys, and today we're discussing the Magic Online metagame. We're talking about the leagues, we're talking about the challenges, and what is the craziest stuff that people have managed to 5-0 with in the leagues. Before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought about this. Also, go ahead and check out patreon.com for sideboard guides at patreon.com/CaliGuys. You can get early access to videos on the YouTube membership. You can check out cardmarket.com, the largest seller of Magic the Gathering cards in Europe. And you can make sure that you hit up the description for the link to the Pauper 1.8K cash prize event on March 1st. That's taking place just outside of Rochester, New York. If we hit 64 players, that's $1.8 thousand in cash prizes. So what's going on Magic Online? Let's check it out. We had 110 trophies this week, which is drastically lower than previous weeks in the 130, 140 range. A couple of days we actually only had 9 and 10 trophies. I don't know what was going on over the weekend, but it was not very popular, that's for sure. So moving back up the chart. Whoa, things are going crazy. Okay, so we had 110 trophies, the majority of which were mono red, and then Affinity, and then Jund Glee. Mono Blue Fae doing pretty well. Jund Wildfire at 6 trophies, and then Black Green Glee at 6 trophies. We had only a few one-ofs, 6 one-ofs this week, so things drop off pretty fast. And if we look at the combined metagame, your combination of Glee combo into one puts 4 archetypes at over 50% of the metagame, which is kind of sad to see. Actually, we had 3 Ponzas over the week, 2 of which were just red-green, and then 1 of which was actually a Teamer Ponza, which unfortunately is spicy enough to hit the spice. We have a couple different types of Dredge. So this Dredge pilot playing a new list, which is cool, we'll check out. Also, in the Pauper Challenges over the weekend, mostly mono red, Grixis Affinity, mono blue, and Jund/Black Green Brood Scale. If you add those up, the metagame looks to be about 50% those 4 decks as well. Not sure how that lines up in terms of healthy metagames or whatever. It's not my call. But you can let me know what you think in the comments below. Wink. Ha! So heading on to the spiciest deck list. So like I said, Teamer Ponza by Dark Killer. They're playing Azure Fleet Admiral in the main deck. Let's zoom in a little bit. So Admiral, it gives them the Monarch. They're also playing Entourage of Trust for the Monarch. And then Avenging Hunter and Writhing Chrysalis as their ways to get... Or Avenging Hunter for the initiative. So lots of emblems. They've got Chrysalis, of course. Let's see. Rune Snag is a counter spell. They've got Breath Weapon. 2 Stone Rain, 4 Thermal Karst, 4 Acid Moss. So 10 land destruction spells. Pretty wild. I mean, I'm happy for them for getting there, but I really don't like pairing into Ponza, that's for sure. Second spiciest list was from Against, aka Alexander Weber, member of the PFP. This is a Rakdos Affinity. They're pretty much playing like a burn style Affinity, except they're not playing the list that I had on my short, which is the Reckless Fireweaver version. They're playing like a bunch of Affinity creatures with 3 Frogmite, 4 Refurbished, so 4 Affinity creatures at the 4-drop slot /1/0 slot, 4 Mirror Enforcer, Clockwork Percussionist as another artifact that's valuable, and then for their removal spells, 4 Galvanic, 3 Lightning Bolt, 1 Cast Down, just the 8 ways to draw cards. You know, it's sort of stock Affinity, but red-black. Now we're moving on to what's labeled as a Golgari Broodscale combo, but I actually do think this is relatively spicy. We're playing essentially green-black token aggro. This is something you see with Carrion Feeder to sacrifice your creatures, Mortician Beetle. This gets counters whenever you sacrifice a creature, so these are things that are just getting huge. And then if you do end up going for the slotted in Basking Broodscale plus Sadistic Glee, Mortician Beetle acts similarly to the Writhing Chrysalis in the Jund versions, where it's going to get infinitely large, as well as your Broodscale getting infinitely large. They have Blister Pod as like a 2-for-1 that makes Eldrazi Scions. Let's see. Bloodthrone Vampire, so they have sacrifice a creature, So 8 sacrifice outlets. Brindle Shoal is an oldie but a goodie. When it dies, you create a 3/3. So it's a 2-mana 1/1 that turns into a 3/3. And then Valgrenrath Noble. That's interesting. So this is a way of draining out your opponent, but it's also a main deck hate for Brute Scale. Wow. Whenever a Valgrenrath Noble or another creature dies. Wow. So this is your combo outlet win. Also just synergizes with your deck. And then you can hate on Brute Scale in the main deck. That's sweet. You got Tragic Slip as their removal spell because they're sacrificing a lot. Scattershot Archer for fairies. Apostle's Blessing for removal decks. The Glamour. You got to have an anti-affinity in the list, or what are you doing? Moving on, we have a Dredge list, and it's labeled as Uberg, so no white in the list. But the mana base is 16 mountains. They're playing things like Insolent Neonate and Voldaren Epicure to get some looting going on so that they can get value off of the Stinkweed Imp. They've got Burning Inquiry, which you don't really see a lot in Pauper. Faithless Looting, Cathartic Reunion. These are all ways for them to draw cards. And then pitch cards with Basking Root Wall as an awesome thing to discard. And then Molten Gatekeeper. I saw this on a video from someone else playing Pauper, but being able to unearth it for just red means that you can easily put 3 creatures in play for the Dread return to kill your opponent. Looks like in the sideboard they've got Electrickery for like mono red and fairies and stuff like that. Elves even. Quad Shenanigans. And then Golgari Brown Scale for a way to try to stall versus burn when they're not able to actually use the green spell called Nod from the Bone. There we go. I figured it out. The spiciest list of the week by Gian B52. It is Affinity. Yay! Not really. It's sweet because this is Affinity playing the Steelfin Whale combo. Turning Affinity into a combo deck because Steelfin Whale says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you untap it. Now, you can play Tooth of Chiscoria for 0, and it has Flash almost all the time. And then Retraction Helix on your Steelfin Whale. Play the Tooth of Chiscoria infinite amount of times, which means that you give infinite power to some creature, and then you just attack in. You've got the standard Refurbished Familiar, Mirror Enforcer, Parkland Shaman in the deck. Reckless Fireweaver as another combo outlet. Definitely sweet. I tried to play this for a video, did not really work out. I ended up recording it without sound, so that was sad. That will remain lost forever. I hope that somebody can repeat their success with this. It's nice and refreshing to see combo Affinity. It just makes me, get excited to see that actually happen. You pretty much play the fair game while sometimes killing your opponent. I like that. If you've liked this and if there's any decks that I missed, definitely let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.